Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate coming at you on a beautiful late May day in 2016 from a lake, like I say in the previous video, a boggish area of this particular lake, soaking in some sun. Coming at you. Some of you may wonder, who watched the last review to be uploaded, why just out of the blue I reviewed Cloverfield. Well, this is the why. Because I'm kind of an anal bastard and I couldn't really review 10 Cloverfield Lane without first reviewing Cloverfield, although they really have nothing in common other than just the word Cloverfield in both the titles. Just very much like the marketing, as I mentioned in the last review for Cloverfield, there was very much secrecy and very much, speculation and interest on what the hell, when this trailer came out just out of the blue without like ever hearing of the production of this, very much with like the first movie. I can't remember when it was, if it was February or something like that, the trailer came out on YouTube of this movie, and I thought the trailer, should be said that I think the trailer for this movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, was absolutely fantastic, in that song or whatever that played, and the kind of as things go bad in the trailer and it deteriorates, the song gets creepy and all this shit. So unfortunately, in my opinion, the best thing about this movie is the trailer. You can just watch the trailer and you're really seeing, like, I think the trailer is like kind of my director's cut of 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think that's, if you could see the movie or the trailer, I would recommend just not bothering seeing the movie and just watch the trailer. Obviously, being a fan of, well, whatever kind of what Cloverfield was about, like a big monster in the city and stuff like that. Obviously, this movie with the Cloverfield title, I was interested in, is it going to be more big monster? I'm always, having grown up on, Japanese, Godzilla, kaiju movies and stuff like that, I'm always up for, especially with, like Hollywood's, CG visual effects and stuff like that, ability to really make this stuff potentially look great. I'm always up for like a big monster movie, bigger budget or modest budget monster movie from Hollywood or whatever, and particularly because I'm a huge fan, kind of a crush on, what's her name? I'm such a big fan of her, I can't remember her name. She's got like a 3-part name. If I can't remember, I'll put it on the screen, red letters. But once I saw that she was in this, movie, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see it even more. And I'm kind of a fan. I'm of the age where, I kind of grew up with John Goodman, so I'm a fan of John Goodman. So, like, 2 of the people in the cast were like, in the trailer I saw was just like Mary Elizabeth Winstead or something like that. Where, I like 2 of the people in the cast, and the third guy I don't know, I'm not familiar with. But so very much with the trailer for the first Cloverfield movie, this trailer for this movie really piqued your interest and made you want to see it, to see what the hell it's all about and stuff like that. And just like the very first Cloverfield movie, I didn't bother seeing this like in the first run. It ended up at a second run theater around me, and I was able to see this movie for $1. So I'm like, I'll see this movie for $1. And it's a good thing I did, because I was unfortunately none too impressed with 10 Cloverfield Lane. If you're I was hoping in the trailer, like, I don't know, the bomb shelter stuff was just the first half of it, or the first third of it, or something like that. But if you're a bomb shelter enthusiast, or bomb shelter enthusiast / bomb shelter movie enthusiast, you might really like this movie. But I guess I just felt like it was kind of a, I don't know, looking out for Rana. I guess I thought it was, by the way, I can't review this movie, or I feel like I really, I can't review this movie fully without spoiling it. So, this is going to be completely spoilerish. So, I guess I was kind of disappointed with the outcome of the movie. This movie really, in my opinion, didn't know what the hell it wanted to be. Granted, what it does, I think it does. For one-time viewing, this movie for me is just not a multiple viewing movie, and it's really scary, because if I hadn't seen this movie like second run theater like I did for $1, I very well may have blind buyed it, which I'm so glad I saw this for $1, because now I'm not going to blind buy it. I might buy it for like $2 or $3 on DVD or Blu-ray used, but I'm not going to pay like $20 or $15 or probably even $10 for it. So I'm really glad I saw this at for a dollar. The movie, you know, it starts out good, and like I say, it does what it does good. I just wasn't a big fan of what it does, and basically, you spend the movie like not knowing. It's kind of frustrating because, you know, throughout the movie you don't know, and it's kind of cool, I guess, to a certain extent. It just, I guess, having the word Cloverfield in the title, I was hoping for more monster mayhem or more whatever. If there's wind, I apologize. It's kind of gotten windy, so bear with me with the review. So long story short, what ends up happening is throughout the movie we get hints of John Goodman, who basically, you know, there's a car crash with Mary Elizabeth, is that her name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead? Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think that's her name. There's a car crash at the beginning where she's gonna like leave her boyfriend or something like that. Car crash, she wakes up in this room. It turns out to be the, you know, like a room, or it looks like a freaking holding cell or whatever, but it's just a room of the bomb shelter. John Goodman's character who's made this bomb shelter. Long story short, he says he rescued her from a car wreck. Turns out he's the one who ran into her. Anyway, long story short, there's another guy who's like helped him do a neighbor or someone who helped him do the bomb shelter. There's another guy down there. Long story short, John Goodman's character says there's some kind of attack, invasion. He doesn't know if it's alien or, you know, whatever, some kind of attack, you know, biological. He can't go up there. So throughout the course of the movie, we don't know, and it's kind of cool, I guess, throughout the course of the movie, because we don't know if this character, he shows signs of being mentally potentially unhinged or unbalanced, John Goodman, so we don't know if what he's saying is actually true, or if this guy, throughout the course of the movie, the John Goodman character, we find out could be not telling the truth, and could be, you know, could have been like tortured his daughter and tortured other people, or tortured his daughter at any rate. And John Goodman, this character who says is a, you know, very well maybe just a kidnapper who's kidnapped Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is that her name? Just to keep her as like his playmate down in this bomb shelter, and there may be no threat above, which is, I gotta admit, it's kind of a cool idea. But I guess my only problem with that is by calling it like Cloverfield. Like, if you're gonna just do a movie like that, just call it Bomb Shelter or something like that. My biggest problem with the movie is having the Cloverfield name become a part of it, because then you expect to see some, or at least I did, expect to see some monster or alien shit, and at the very end you do see some alien shit, but they only threw it in because the name Cloverfield was attached. This movie, in my opinion, would have been much better if it was just called Bomb Shelter or some generic thing. Because the idea of doing a movie like this where you don't know if the guy's telling the truth or if he's just a sicko is a good idea. But my problem, once again, with it is that you attach the name Cloverfield to it, which in my case makes you have a certain expectation of what you want to see, primarily like, you know, visual effects with aliens and or big monsters. Of course, you do see some kind of alien shit at the end, but it's, by that time you're just like, whatever. So at the end of the day, what ends up happening, I feel like it's kind of a cheat, and it should have went one way or another. That's why I don't think it should have been Cloverfield anything. Just call it Bomb Shelter, and then pick either one way or the other. Pick if he's gonna be, you know, maybe you could hint that he's, you know, show all kinds of signs that he's deranged, and at the very end have her run out, you know, attack him, you know, render him harmless, and then run out into the what you think is freedom, only to like asphyxiate in the, you know, the poison that he was truthfully talking about. Would have been a kind of a better, I think, ending. What ends up happening is both cases are true. The guy is actually a nut, but he was telling the, you know, so he probably did torture or whatever, or kidnap or whatever his daughter, or this girl that he claimed to be his daughter or whatever. I think he is a kind of a pervert kidnapper. And also there is an invasion, so it's like they can't decide which one they want to go with, so they just go with both, which I felt was an extreme, just an easy way out, a cheat. Like I say, don't call this Cloverfield. Bomb Shelter, starring John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead or whatever, and this other guy, and pick one or the other. I think what I outlined earlier would have been cool, where she kills the guy or disables John Goodman only to run out to asphyxiate in the poison, biological, whatever the radiation or whatever's out there. That would have been kind of funny. But I think, like I say, they take the easy route in doing John Goodman is a pervert, kidnapper, and it's an invasion, which I guess is kind of funny. I mean, I guess you don't expect both of it, both scenarios to be true, which, whatever. So at the end of the day, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I was actually, strangely enough, I liked the found footage, Cloverfield more than the non-found footage, more traditionally shot 10 Cloverfield Lane. We're going to go 1.5 stars out of 4 for 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'll buy it for like $2 or $3 on DVD or Blu-ray down the road. I'm sure I'll be able to find it for that down the road. Like I say, what it does well, but I just wasn't impressed by the... Like I say, I can't say it enough. It shouldn't have been Cloverfield anything. It should have been Bomb Shelter. Just generic movie. The best thing about this movie is the trailer. Like I said, it's a fantastic trailer. But yeah, I'm just glad I saw it for $1 and didn't blind buy it for $20. So I guess that does it for my review of 10 Cloverfield Lane. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is still adorable in her as she's aging or whatever. John Goodman's good, and the other guy I guess is fine or whatever. But if you can see this for $1 or less, or whatever. I'm glad it's only like 90 minutes. I'm so sick of these movies being 2.5 hours now, or almost 3 hours. It's just like, gosh, So it was kind of nice to see just a good old-fashioned 90-minute movie. So, the filmmaker does a good job at the tension and stuff like that. It's just the outcome was disappointing. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.